Hello everybody and welcome to the Bob Stoops app. I'm Brad McMullen along with Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops. And Coach, I just want to begin on behalf of everyone in Sooner Nation. We are so sorry and condolences on the loss of your mom.
Yeah, thank you, Brad. She's a special lady and raised six, children, all my siblings, and we're at peace. She just was struggling here at the end, so she was ready to go, and I'm sure she's had a great reunion with my father up there in heaven.
Amen, amen. And obviously your mom was literally your biggest fan. Let's talk about some of your favorite memories in football and your mom.
Oh, geez. When I played at Iowa, as well as my brother Mike, at the time, my father would leave his football games, high school games, on Friday night. They'd get in the car, pile in a van, my mother and then siblings that were at home, friends, and they'd drive through the night 10 hours. Wow. And arrive at the game, for the game. We'd all go out, have fun afterwards. So my mom just enjoyed all of those trips, Then they get Sunday morning, get right back in the van and go right back 10 hours back to Youngstown. So we had so many great family memories. We've had so many family vacations every summer where my mother's been involved. We were passing around one just 5-6 years ago where she was playing beer pong with all her grandchildren and all of us. So anyway, so she loved to have fun with all her grandkids.
And of course, when the Sooners were red hot and you were the head coach, she was a super Sooner fan.
Yeah, she came to a lot of games, and we always to the bowl games, and we had a lot of fun. She experienced a lot of football, not just through me, through all of us, all my brothers and my father, before he passed.
An unbelievable reunion of the two of them in heaven today. All right, let's talk about some big football games. Talk about a 10-hour drive. If you're leaving Norman, Oklahoma, and you're heading to Oxford, it'll take you about 10 hours in a car to get there. The Oklahoma Sooners find themselves in a unique place. They are a 20.5-point underdog at Ole Miss, and this is an Ole Miss team that has a lot of experience, 21 out of 22 starters, seniors, and they are expected to win this game.
Yeah, no question. And we've got to find our stride here at Oklahoma, and whether it's, with the change here at coordinator, how much that can affect the team, not real sure. I don't know that you can implement a whole new offense in 4 or 5 days. That isn't going to happen. So just the guys on the field have got to be able to perform better, move people on the line, get some big plays here and there. Defense come up with maybe a score. You just got to manufacture and find ways to make some plays, and then play a great defensive game to keep you in it. And then you've made enough plays, special teams, offensively, whatever, big plays defensively to win the game.
I think the crucial thing is no mistakes. You cannot turn the football over. When you turn the ball over, you're going to lose. 4 turnovers last week against South Carolina, immediated a 21-0 hole. You just can't win.
Clean football wins. When I mean clean, it's take care of the football, and penalties, third down or first down penalties that put you behind the chains hurt. You got to be able to convert possession, third and fourth downs, and you got to take care of the ball.
Yeah, and when you break down and you really look at the tape, and obviously Sooner fans out there have done that, they've seen receivers running free, they've seen holes open up, but for some reason things just have not gelled together for consistency on the offensive side of the ball this year.
Yeah, and hopefully it can happen here in the back half of the year. As you said, quarterback finds the guy that did break open. Running back finds the hole and give the quarterback time to be able to see the guy that's open. All of that has to gel and work together.
And the most important thing, the defense has to consistently be the defense that we've seen all year. Strong in the red zone, strong in turning the ball over, and of course, trying to eliminate the big play. If the Sooners can do that, they can be competitive in Oxford.
Yeah, definitely, as well as get off the field on possession downs. Third and fourth downs, come up with plays and get off the field, give the offense another opportunity.
All right, Coach, 20-point underdog. I know you're not going to pick against Oklahoma.
No way.
It's an 11 a.m. kickoff, though, right? You go back to these early kickoffs. OU is more familiar with the 11 a.m. kickoff for the last 3 years than probably Ole Miss. But it's a big day for Oklahoma to step up in a big way.
Yeah, I'm taking Oklahoma to find their stride, catch their rhythm, and go in there and play a great game.
Yeah, I believe this. If they can eliminate the turnovers and allow the talent just to play freely, obviously we saw this just in a walk-on true freshman last week, number 88, who caught 6 balls for us for over 80 yards. It can be done. We just have to be consistent this week.
Yeah, I love seeing Josh Jacobs, right?
Yeah.
I love watching that last week. And that's what we need. We need more guys like that to step up, make their plays when they have the opportunities, and let's hope it shows up this week.
All right, Boomer Sooner win in Oxford. All right, some other big games out there. You've got Boise State traveling to UNLV. Both teams are 6-1. Boise State favored by 3 points in this one, and they have arguably the most electrifying football player in the college ranks. That star running back could be walking away with the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, I would pick UNLV if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
That guy it's so fun to watch, and I see his highlights every weekend. So I'm going to go with Boise State, and with him being able to make the big plays to win.
And I agree with you on that. Boy, UNLV impressive. Their quarterback leaves them when they're undefeated. They go get the backup quarterback, continue to keep on winning. All right, Notre Dame at probably one of the biggest surprise stories of the year. Navy, undefeated Navy, now ranked 24th in the country. Notre Dame favored big time in this one by 14 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Notre Dame. I want to go with Navy, but yeah. I don't believe it. I just believe Notre Dame overall will be too strong, too powerful overall, and will win the game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Notre Dame's just a good football team. All right, number 20, Illinois, 6-1 on the year. At number 1, Oregon. Oregon favored by 22 points in this one.
Yeah, and it's at Oregon?
Yes.
Then I'm going to go with Oregon because, you know, with the great record that Illinois has, it's going to have Oregon's attention. So I think they'll keep it going. Dylan Gabriel's been playing hot, so I like Oregon to keep it going.
Yeah, mistake-free football by Dylan Gabriel. We saw it here at Oklahoma. He's continuing that at Oregon. I like Oregon in that game as well. All right, number 21, Mizzou. A preseason top 5 team in the country. They spent most of the year in the top 10, have kind of fallen off. They're traveling to Alabama. Alabama favored by 17 points in this game. An Alabama team that's 500 in the SEC.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with Alabama. I've seen enough of them through the year to show me they're capable of really playing well. I think they're going to have something to prove, being that they're being questioned now. And I believe they'll come out and play a really good game.
And for me, Missouri's just not a great football team. That's why I like Alabama at home. All right, Texas, the number 5 team in the country, after getting shellacked by Georgia. Thank you, Georgia, for beating Texas. They're going to be traveling on the road to number 25, Vandy, another surprise team this year, who did beat Alabama earlier this year. And, of course, they're continuing to win football games.
Boy, I'm going to go with Vandy for the upset.
There you go.
I'm allowed to do that, right, against Texas.
And at least on the point spread, Texas is favored by nearly 19 points in this game at Vanderbilt.
Well, and again, I think Vandy has something to prove, and they've got a team that they're doing it with.
Yep.
So maybe Texas will still be licking their wounds a little bit. So I'd go with Vandy in the points.
Yeah, and there's some things floating around the internet right now where they show a netting over the Texas fans so they can't throw stuff on the field. That's kind of funny. All right, number 8, LSU at number 14, Texas A&M. Texas A&M favored by just 2 points. Both teams 6-1 on the year.
Yeah, this is a hard pick.
It's a good one.
This is really tough. I'm going with Texas A&M because it's at home. And same thing, they haven't had a ton of success. So again, they've got something they want to prove and show. So I'm going to go with A&M.
Yeah, I love that pick. Again, if you're playing in College Station, it's the 12th man for a reason. That stadium is crazy. But for some reason, LSU finds a way to win. I don't know how this is. It's one of those things that, watching LSU this year, other than that first game against USC, they've been undefeated ever since. That win against Ole Miss. How in the world they won that game with 3 minutes left to go, you're like, no, this game is over. It's all Mississippi, but they found a way to win that contest.
There's something to say about that. Winning tough games in different ways, a team starts to get a belief that it's going to continue to happen.
Yep. All right, Penn State at Wisconsin. Wisconsin has looked shaky at best at certain times this year. But at certain points, they've looked really good. For one half against Alabama, they looked really, really strong, and then things fell apart. For one half against USC, they looked very, very strong, and then things fell apart. But they are still 5-2 on the season, 3-1 in Big Ten play. They are a 7-point underdog against undefeated Penn State.
Yeah, I see Penn State. I'm going to take Penn State to continue to play well. Again, they're one of those teams. They haven't been undefeated in a good while. Got a strong belief or culture going right now. I see them continuing it.
I agree with that. I like Penn State on the road. All right, Rutgers at USC. Rutgers 4-3. USC with a losing record at 3-4. USC is favored by 13.5 in this contest.
Yeah, I'm going to go with USC. Some of the games they've lost,
they've been winning every one of them.
They've been winning every one of them in the fourth quarter, and
Yeah.
they've found a way to lose. And I see that being corrected. And I still see a stronger team than what their record shows, because of the way they played overall, but and then just figuring out ways to finish the game in a better way. So I bet they do that this week.
Yeah, I think USC is going to do well in this game. Again, I go back to that LSU game. They found a way to win that one. As Coach mentioned, 4 different times they were leading late in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, found a way to lose that game. I think they get back right, especially at home. All right, Kansas State, a game this guy's very familiar with. Kansas State at 6-1 is favored at home by 10 points.
Yeah, the fact that it's at home, I'm going with Kansas State. They've been Kansas has improved here lately, but that surprised me. I believe it surprised everyone this year that they that they don't have a better record, that they've struggled. So I'm going to go with Kansas State, especially being in Manhattan at Kansas State, and Kansas State's figuring it out here in the middle of the year as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the way they played against Oklahoma State, they have just played really well. They've been consistent. They don't turn the ball over. They don't do penalties. Very well coached football team. Kansas on the other side, preseason top 25 team. Coach, a lot of expectations on the quarterback play, but they've turned the ball over. They have not been able to close out games when they've been up late in the fourth quarter. It's just been a different Kansas team than we thought we would see this year.
Yeah, totally. And they were picked. A lot of people picked them even to win the league, and they've lost 3 or 4 games. So in the end, I just see Kansas State continuing. Being that it's in Manhattan, they're going to continue to play well.
All right, back to the Big Ten. Nebraska 5-2. They want to erase the Indiana game from a week ago because it was tragedy, and the Bee Gees aren't here to sing it. That game did not go over well. Nebraska, though, 5-2 on the season. They're traveling to Ohio State. Ohio State favored by a lot in this one, 26 points.
That's a lot of points. I don't know if I'd take that many points. Ohio State's going to win the game. I believe it'll be closer than that. But I like Ohio State in the game, and Nebraska showed some flaws a week ago against Indiana. So once they get up against more powerful teams like in Ohio State, I think those flaws will show. So I see them winning. I don't know that I'd go with that many points, though.
I agree with you. Ohio State's going to win that game at home, 26, though, and also you don't know who they're going to be playing late in that game as well. All right, Washington at Indiana, undefeated, 7-0. Indiana, rookie head coach at Indiana, 7-0. Washington, 4-3. Here's the interesting part. Indiana's only favored by 6 points at home against Washington. Does somebody know something that somebody else doesn't know?
I'm going with Indiana.
Yeah.
Kurt Signetti, a year ago when he was hired?
I love it.
What do you say?
Google me.
Google me.
I win.
All I do is win.
Yeah.
So I love it, and he's backed it up big time.
He's awesome.
And the way they dismantled Nebraska, I'm going with Indiana. Again, a team that would have something to prove. They haven't had this kind of success in a while. So that keeps you from being big-headed and want more.
Yeah.
So I see them continuing this role.
I agree with you. I love Indiana at home. Just watching them, during the OU game last week, because I wanted to kind of glance up from the field every once in a while at the monitor and watch something else. It was nice to see Indiana playing so well. All right, Michigan State playing in this rivalry game. Michigan at home, only a 4-point favorite.
Yeah, I've got to go with Michigan and Sharon Moore. Since he's played here at OU, got to root for him. And I haven't followed Michigan State a lot this year for me to really say, but I like Michigan at home being able to win.
All right, our last game we're going to talk about was a great one if you were around in 1991, 1992, or 93. We're talking about Florida State and Miami. Florida State unranked, and they are a 21-point underdog on the road. A year ago, they were fighting for a playoff spot. This year, they are a whopping 1 win on the season. Not what many people thought if you're a fan of Florida State.
Yeah, and I don't see it happening this week either.
No.
Miami's playing well. Love their quarterback. can't think of his name off the top of my head, but
Old Washington State quarterback.
yeah, playing great. Cam Ward.
Yep.
Right?
Cam Ward, you got
And,
it. I was going to say Cam Akers, and I was
playing
going to be
great,
way off there.
But
Old
because
running
of
back from
him and
Mississippi.
being in Miami, Florida State's daubers down. I don't care what anyone says, and it's hard to come back from that. So I'd go with Miami to continue to roll.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a big hurricane warning at home for Miami. All right, if you're a Sooner fan, we're going to leave you with some optimism. Last night, Kennesaw State, who was winless on the season and was a 28.5-point underdog against undefeated Liberty, right? 28.5-point underdog. They won last night. They won. Oklahoma's better than Kennesaw State. I'm just saying.
I'm going with your strategy.
There you
I
go.
love it. I'm all in on it.
Yeah,
Believe me.
the glass is more than half full. Boomer Sooner, let's go get that big road win. And by the way, we do well on the road in the SEC. We
That's
beat
right.
Auburn. Now we can beat Ole Miss and
That's
get
right.
another win in the win column.
Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner. All right, for Coach Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen saying don't forget for videos anytime, just tap on our video link. Let's go get them, Sooners.